Hello and welcome back to Sherwood Park Toyota. Today we're looking at a Volkswagen Golf R 20th Anniversary Edition automatic in the color white. Let's take a look. Starting up front, underneath the hood, we have a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, automatic transmission, gets up to 315 horsepower, 295 pound-foot of torque. Up front, we've got your LED headlights, customary daytime running lights. We've got some of these blue highlights, so you'll be able to see this all throughout this vehicle. Of course, you have that R badge on the front end there as well. If you look across the front bumper, all the way from one corner to the other, you'll be able to find these little round nodules. These guys are your front parking sensors. Now onto the side here, there are 19-inch black alloy wheels. You have those blue calipers as well to match. Then again, you have another R badge on the side. You have those blue side mirrors. These guys include integrated turn signals and blind spot monitoring. And then on both of your front handles, you'll find this little dimple. We'll talk about him more on the driver's side. On both of your front doors, you'll also find this 20th badge there. Going back, all the rear windows come with a factory tinting. Across the back, just like the front, you've got backup parking sensors going the whole way across. Then down below, you've got that double exhaust there and R badge on the bottom. You do have backup parking here as well, and this is accessible the same as you go in for opening up your cargo space. You press in the top of the logo and then lift this upwards. Whoop. And that is how you open it up. So inside here, of course, we have the interior cargo cover across the back. This guy is able to go up and down with the hatch itself. As you can see, it is simply attached to the roof using these little cords. Leads up to a little knob up top, which means that if you don't want this to be mobile going up and down with the hatch, you can just take it off of the little knobs on either side and it will sit flat across the back in a tray style, which does give you some additional options for storage space. Of course, it's not meant to carry a whole bunch of weight bearing, but it is there for that option. Either way, it helps provide the service of protecting your goods. Anything you keep stored down below here will be protected so that people can't look in through your rear windshield here and see what you have. Now looking in, you may notice that the second row seating has two things going on. First off, we have this independent section here that can function in its own right. You have a little handle in the middle part of there that you can release in order to allow this guy to function forwards. Otherwise, you have a 60-40 split you can see on the left-hand side, allowing each side of these seats to function independently from one another. If you want to adjust them, you can just release these handles that you'll find on the top outside corners of the seats to lay down the coordinating side that you want down. On either side, you will find these extra deep pits. We have one of the little tool accessories that is stored inside the right-hand side. You can also see this interior lighting here, and you have a 12-volt adapter. In each one of the four corners, you'll find these little hooks. You can use these guys to further secure your cargo as well. You also have these built-in storage hooks on either side for additional storage purposes. If you're looking for your tire kit, you can look down to the ground to find this little handle. Lift this guy upwards, and then everything you need is stored right underneath there. To close it up here, you can just reach up on either side. You'll find these little diagrams here showing you to reach your head in underneath, hook, and pull it right back downwards. Next, let's take a look at the inside. So inside here, your interior upholstery is the dual tone of this black and blue leatherette. It has this beautiful detailing and texturing on the seats themselves. In the back here, in between the two sides, you have access to a folding down armrest / cup holder. You can also see this access point that we saw from the back here, which allows you to have this middle section fall out individually. You can use that for storage purposes, but this guy is also able to easily fold away to increase your seating capacity. Now, looking forward, on the back of your front passenger and front driver seats, there is some pouch storage. Back of the console, you have some air conditioning control sections, as well as heated seats, and there are chargers you can see glowing down below. You'll also see that we have this ambient lighting all throughout. This is changeable, so you can adjust the color. We'll look at that a little bit more in detail when we get up front. There is just normal white ambient lighting down below there as well. Inside your door, you have your storage spaces and power window control, as well as the ambient light that we just saw. Now, back again to this little dimple. This guy indicates keyless entry, so it means that you can simply tap your hand on here to lock and unlock your vehicle. Once again, we have this little 20th anniversary badge on the door here. Inside the driver's door, Power windows for front and back. You've got your window lock and your power lock system up front. Then you have your side mirror controls down below. If you twist this all the way around to point down below, it will allow it to defrost the side mirrors for you. Inside, we have memory seat settings that you can see up top here for up to 3 different drivers. And of course, electronically adjustable seating, back, front, up, down, and lumbar support. Then hood release on the bottom left-hand corner. Up top here, you have controls for your headlamps, as well as for the max defrost and defrost for the rear windshield as well. So front and back are both accessible there. Taking a look at your steering wheel, it is black leather with blue stitching, just like your seats. There are paddle shifters up top here, so it gives you that extra bit of control. Got a few different controls on the steering wheel itself. Left-hand side, you have controls for your volume and everything for adaptive cruise control. Right-hand side, up top here is where you have controls for the dash display. You can have it displaying off of either side here too, depending on whatever you prefer. You also have all of your hands-free communication here, and your heated steering wheel. If you give it a press, you'll see it pops up here saying heated steering wheel is on, and there's a couple of adjustments for it to have different levels available to you. Then you have all sorts of different things for things like torque distribution and the R boost, things like that. In the middle here is your infotainment display screen. This is where you go to access much of the information about your daily driving experience. We're looking at the home screen right now. You have access to 3 different options for these home screens. So one of them has these displays in a more white background, help, radio, legal notices. Then you have things like your trip computer and phone connectivity. Then you have your navigation in this middle one, so you can click into here if you want to further adjust or use this setting. To get back to home, you just press this little square that's on the left. In here you also have access to Bluetooth connectivity, vehicle info, and telephone. And then lastly, the one we saw right up the top is one for more of your adjustments. So telephone, radio, nav, you have your vehicle, app connections, sound, ambient lights, and help. Help is for things like layouts, operation, customizing your experience, home screen, tapping, hand gestures, finger sliders, radio media, tiles on the home screen, etc. You also have hands-free operations available through here too. Then ambient lighting. So this is what we're talking about in the back. You can see all of these different color layouts through here. The easiest way to keep an eye on it is I will point the camera towards the back, and you can see as we'll cycle through the different colors. Right now we're on this dark blue color, but we'll point it in the back. You can keep an eye on the colors. So starting from left to right, you start with the Infinity, which is this orange color. You can see it change to that hue. Then you have Eternity, which is this more turquoise green. Then you have Desire, which is the one that we were originally on. You have Euphoria, which is this red-pink color. And then you have Vitality, which is this yellow hue. There's also further customizing available through here, so you can customize the hues and colors for yourself. You have automatic settings, and then you can fully turn it off if you just don't want to be having any of that going on. We'll just leave it set to its original setting, which happens to mesh really well with the interior upholstery colors too. Then you have your app connections, vehicle information, navigation, radio and media. So radio media, of course, you have a full Bluetooth connectivity. This includes Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. For your radio listening, you have access to AM, FM, and satellite radio, as well as internet radio for you too. Volume control is right in the middle here, so you just simply tap on here. You can also scroll along for this too. Lots of different options. You can also go into your favorites if there's different things you prefer. You have different alerts and further settings available all the way at the bottom there. So for all of your climate control, as you can see, there is no main button panel through here. You saw already that we have the defrost for front and rear windshield on the left, but back inside the middle here, to access your climate, you can simply press on the left, and then we have 3 different sections. There's the Smart, Classic, and then Air Care. So this has this diagram, shows you more about that. Classic climate is your typical classic, of course. So you have things like fan speed, you have controls for your rear heating through here, then you have your syncing options. We do have options to either have synced or unsynced climate, which allows driver and front passenger to either have the same temperature at all times or to function independently from one another. There's also 3 levels for heated seat controls for driver and front passenger, and then it also exists for cooled there as well. So blue for cool, red for heat, and then all of your different adjustments up top. Smart climate is more specific, so we have things like clear view, you have warm feet, warm hands, cool feet, fresh air, and quick cooling. More available inside of that little information button, and then there's further settings available through here too. And then underneath here we have a couple other settings. So you have your assist, so if you give that a press, this is things like you would use for, say, your adaptive cruise control. Then you have your parking menu, so this can help you with all of your parking ability. parking assist and parking distribution controls. Then you have your climate control, so you can pull it up quickly simply through here. And then you have vehicle modes. So this is for all of your driving modes. You can have it on comfort, sport, race. There's more available into here as well. You also hear your vehicle shift if you press on that option. And then you have further customizing available here too. Now underneath here we have this nice little storage pad. It's a little hard to see at this angle, but there is a symbol down below which indicates this pad is a wireless charging pad. Doubly compatible with all wireless charging devices. Has a nice slanted in design, so the phone is going to be super secure in there, and you don't have to worry about having charging cords with this feature. Though of course if you prefer to use them, you do have these ports up top there. Behind that you have that silver push start ignition. Then you have your gear shift, this little guy here. It's very easy to get a hang of once you take a look at it and once you use it a couple times. Storage spaces along the side. In behind, you have a 12-volt adapter here and then your cup holder spaces. If this isn't quite secure enough, you can press this button and you'll find this further pops out. So this guy is able to move in and out, and then this guy slides in. If you don't want to be using that, you can just slide it closed back again. Then you have your console all the way at the back here, so just normal storage spaces down inside of that. Right hand side here, more ambient lighting down there. Then you have a glove box. Up overhead, you have your overhead lighting controls, SOS button, and the controls for the moonroof. Thanks again, folks, for joining us on this full video tour for this Volkswagen Golf R 20th anniversary auto in the color white. It is located here at Sherwood Park Toyota at 31 Automall Road in Sherwood Park, Alberta. You can also reach us at 780-306-7703. And remember, life is full of choices. Let us be yours.